Good morning, good morning, good morning, community. How are you? Janine Macklin here, transformational speaker, your wealth guide and catalyst. How are you? Really? As you come on, if you do the replay, please put hashtag replay. Let me know how you are and where you are. If you're on the East Coast, the West Coast, down south, if you're in a hurricane, if you're in smoke and you're in a storm, if you're in the sun, we all have different elements of weather that we're having to navigate and deal with. So just let me know. I want to hop on here today to really kind of talk a little bit about how do you step into being calm when it seems like you're in the midst of a storm. I didn't look at everything last night. I know the Republicans were doing something, and there was some town hall meeting and a variety of different things that are going on. The election is approaching. Fanton, good morning. How are you? Or good afternoon. Good afternoon to the East Coast. Good morning to the West Coast. How are you all doing? But what I want to hop on today with a little bit of wisdom for Wednesday is to really look at what are the skills that you have developed? What's your capacity to be calm in the midst of a storm? And clearly, as life is changing, as there's transformation that's happening on the planet, it can certainly feel turbulent. You know, if you're flying planes, and they're taking off at different times, you feel that turbulence and it gets very bumpy. And then in those moments, you can get a little nervous, like, oh my goodness, what's going on? What's going to happen? And so I believe that some of you may even be feeling that and experience that in life as this whole pandemic, racial conversation, economic conversation, equality conversation continues to happen on the planet. It's not just in the United States, which makes it amazing to me on the planet because, and I'm just going to do this briefly, what that says to me is that it's not just here. Hi, Danielle. It's all over the world that the shift is happening. And to me, that says we are all part of creating it. It was something in our thinking, something in our hearts that pulled this into being for this all to be happening. Now, it probably happens for many of us unconsciously. You probably think, I wouldn't create this. I don't want this. But on some level, we do want this. We did create this. And now we're in it like, oh my God, it's crazy. It's crazy. Please make everything calm again. But that's not what this is about. So it's almost like, how do we find our calm in the midst of transformation? How do we find our calm in the midst of what I said the other day is that the cracks are showing up in America's history, the lies that have been told, the disenfranchisement that's been put in place, like the prioritizing and the privatizing of the prisons where there's cracks. And as the cracks keep happening, the pressure within pushes on those cracks. And if it were water, it begins to leak out. And the more the pressure is put on it, gradually it will all break. So how do you maintain your sense of oneness, your sense of connection to something bigger than yourself while that happens? Because we've called this forth. We want this shift to happen. It's been building and building for all the whole 400 and 500 years we've been talking about. So how do you maintain that? The kids, we've got to see about them going to school or not going to school. You're concerned if your children will potentially end up with the virus if they go to school. I also think on the other side that we're not thinking about is some of these shifts that are happening now will be long term. We keep thinking things are going to go back to some kind of way. They're not. They're going to go forward some kind of way. So I want you to keep your thinking going forward. What could that look like? Everyone's home now. How could it look going forward? I don't know that everyone will return back into their offices. I don't know that all the school classrooms will look the same. It really is incumbent on us to begin to open our vision so that we can begin to play with possibilities of what this world is going to look like going forward. So part of the piece of not having calm is that you can allow yourself to get saturated with what seems like it's negative, what seems like it's hard, what seems like it's tough, what seems like it's just insurmountable. And that can feel that way when it's only you just by yourself. But when you can pull away from it and anchor yourself in something bigger than this sense of smallness, and I know it may not seem like it, but this sense of smallness that's happening on this planet with this transformation, what do you anchor yourself to? What is it that your calm feels like? What does it feel like for you? I think the biggest thing that's probably taken me out in this whole period was Chadwick Boseman. That, and that still brings me tears. That's probably the biggest thing that's kind of knocked me off of my center and said, I just have to sit with this one. But the rest of the stuff, the president, the vice president, the protest that's been going on for 7 or 8 or 9 months, the shooting, the killing, the people who are leaving this planet in the manner that they are, that continuously brings us back to the same topics. We can't get away from injustice. We can't get away from inequality. They just got to Breonna. No one was going to let Breonna's name die until there was something done. So it's going to continue to happen. So part of what I want you to understand in moving to calm as best you can, because I know you're like, this does not make sense, is that we called forth a lot of what's happening on this planet. We wanted a change. We wanted something different. We wanted a recognition of wholeness. What we're seeing right now is the fragmented pieces are trying to hold on the best they can to this because this is what they created. This is what America was built on. We've got to hold on to it. But that's fragmented pieces. While the rest of the world, billions of people are coming to saying, yeah, that may have been the way it was, but we want something new. We want to create something new. So one of the first things for calm is to be able to shift your attention from what over here is creating so much stress for you and so much anxiety for you and so much worry for you to what you really want to see unfolding in your life, which I hear could be quite different because some of you could say, I just want things to go back to the way they were. That's not going to happen. How do you go back? It's like someone saying, oh, your husband, girlfriend, or boyfriend had an affair. Now you just hear that and say, okay, I haven't heard it. How do you go back to that? Oh, you have cancer. Oh, I heard it, but I don't agree with it. I'm not going to pay. You can't go back. So I really want the first thing for you to be more calm is to look forward to where it is you want to go. And start with you inside yourself. Where do you want to go with inside yourself? What do you want that to feel like for you? Where are the places that you are allowing yourself to be saturated with negativity? Where are the places you're allowing yourself to be saturated with the necessary pieces that go with change? Where are you being saturated with that? It's like standing in a rainstorm and not having an umbrella and saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Well, first thing I'm going to say is get a doggone umbrella or get something to cover yourself or go be with some other people and you guys cover each other. But sitting there saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, is not going to get you to the place of being calm in the midst of the storm. What's the significance? Calm is probably about the best place you could be to be open enough to receive what's happening. Fear won't get you there. Fear is going to keep you heavy. It's going to keep you fretting. It's going to use up your energy. Doubt won't get you there. It's going to keep you on the treadmill of the, oh my God. So where else can you go but into a sense of calm? You know, they always tell us calm is in the center of the storm. So how do you get yourself into the center of the storm? One thing, at least for folks in the United States, you really want to make sure that you monitor the news, what you're looking at. I was reading something the other day, and I don't know if it was Bill Murray or somebody was saying how they don't even look at the news. They said they would go crazy if they looked at, CBS and all the news that's on there. So they find another channel. I look at Spectrum One. It seems to break things down pretty simple, but you're the one who gets to decide. So for the first thing, understand what gives you calm. Is it the ocean? Is it a walk? Is it prayer? Is it meditation? Is it sitting in silence? Is it chanting? Is it tantra dancing? What brings you calm? Is it just a good night's sleep? First of all, so the first thing I want you to identify what brings you calm. If it's praying, if it's sitting in stillness and praying, those are the things you want to identify. Then you want to look in your schedule to see how significant is it for you to put those things into action. You can't say prayer gives you calm and not pray. You can't say exercising gives you calm and you're not exercising, or sitting in stillness, or reading, a variety of different books. I'm looking down here to see what I have that gives you a sense of calm. You will have to create your calm. The world out here isn't at that at this point. This is about transformation. This is about evolution. This is about being uncomfortable. And we cannot move away from being uncomfortable because it's in our uncomfortableness that we make the shifts and changes that are necessary for our healing and for our wholeness and for the crumbling of what doesn't work, which won't end in like a couple of months. It's so big. It's like 500 years of BS that we're looking at trying to crumble and dismantle and expose and move into some level of equality. The next thing that you want to look at, once you find out for you, remember the last time you felt calm. What does it feel like for you to be calm internally? Maybe it was an argument that was going on, but while it was happening, you were sitting and listening inside of you were calm. You didn't feel anxious. You didn't think, oh my God, I got to kick somebody's butt, or I'm gonna have to fight, or I'm gonna have to run, I'm gonna have to flee. You could stand right there in the middle of it and deal with what you were hearing, what was being said to you. Even though you didn't like it, you could still be present for it. Because part of being calm is being able to be present, to be fully present in the moment and not be in anxiety of what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen next week, what's going to happen next year. And I know as soon as I said that, I hear people saying, well, I don't have any place to live, and I don't have money, and I don't have food, and I still need for you to find some sense of calm in that. I didn't say give up your urgency. I didn't say give up your tenacity. I'm just saying be calm in the midst of it, because I don't know about for you, but when I'm not calm, then I'm scattered. I'm all over the place. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to do 3 things at one time, and nothing gets done. So what do you anchor yourself in to stay calm? What does your calm feel like? What does it feel like for you? The next thing is to stay present. So much of what creates the chaos in the discussions and the conversations for people as I listen to them is they're not present right now in this moment in your life. You're okay. Are you okay? You can breathe, you can eat, you can understand, you can talk, your health may be compromised, but you're managing it. Are you okay? It's when I'm talking to different people and they're down the street and they're trying to figure out what's going to happen 3 weeks from now and 4 weeks from now and what's going to happen for next week and what's going to happen for Thanksgiving. Why are you going that far down the road? The thing about anxiety is that there's this feeling that you allow yourself to live with of uncertainty. And I'm constantly saying to you, claim what's certain for you. What's certain for me is there's a power and a presence that keeps this planet in the sky, in the universe, without colliding with anything. This certain is that the seasons change. That has nothing to do with us. What's certain is that the sun shines every day, even though we can't see it. What is it in your life that you can anchor yourself to for certainty? The sun's going to shine every day. The wind's going to blow. We even have air. In the midst of me sitting in smoke, I can see the smoke outside my window. There's still air in my home that's a little bit different, that doesn't have all that smoke in it. So when you can stay present in each moment and not looking all the way down the road to see what's going to happen, how this is going to turn out, how that's going to turn out, then it takes away some of that, in this moment right now, what do you need? In this moment right now, what do your children need? In this moment right now, what does your heart need? In this moment right now. And that's all you stay with. And once you have those things, then in some regards, you almost want to block out everything else and live right there in that moment, moment to moment to moment. What creates so much anxiety, what creates so much worry, and what ultimately leads to fear is this right here being on automatic pilot, running itself, your mind, with a lot of scenarios of what may be possible, what could be possible, what might happen, which adds to your craziness for yourself, versus deciding every morning when you get up in the morning, if you don't have a ritual, create one. If it's prayer, if it's meditation, even if you're walking the dog. I see a lot of women in the morning walking their dogs. Don't be on the phone talking. We're so busy, chatting. Be willing to be quiet, to be in the stillness. There's so many birds and crows and owls out here making noise where I am, so that you're present in your moment. First thing in the morning, set it for yourself. Set the tone. This is the way my day is going to be. Now ask yourself, what has to happen for that day to happen that way? For me, it's usually not looking at the news. It's barely looking at TV because I'm tired of looking at all the shows and whatever's on there. I do look at my Perry Mason. But other than that, I'm looking to see what else is on. I looked at a show the other day called Hala, and it was a Muslim woman, a young girl who was 16, 17, growing up, and it was in, I don't know if it was in Farsi, but it was in another language. And it was wonderful to listen to something in another language and then read and then learn something about what was happening in their culture and how she was struggling to balance the religion and the feminine issues and her own issues around desire. So if I'm going to look at something, I want to look at something that's new, that's different, that's going to feed me and really kind of energize me. So be really mindful of what you're exposing yourself to. Hello, my dear, how are you? You have been trying to get me to do France and speak French and get to you for a year or so now. And I'm going to work on that, okay? I am good. How are you? So it's about you being able to know the power in being calm. A lot of times we're so used to moving quickly and being angry and being mad and fighting and arguing, but we don't recognize there's power in being calm. To be able to take things in, and you decide how much you're going to take in. That's why you don't sit in front of the TV all day long. Be able to take things in, allow yourself and your system to have them move through you and make some conscious decisions about it. There may be some things that you hear, say, okay, well, I'm not thinking about that. Or, oh, no, I'm not going to take that into my spirit. Okay, well, we'll leave that over there. That's often why you'll hear me talk about comedy and laughing and spirituality and nature. Those are the things that fill my spirit. So when you're looking at calm, what calms you? What soothes your spirit? Is it a bubble bath? Did I tell you take a bath every day? Is it walks outside in nature? Is it sitting down with a great book, a romantic novel, a mystery, and being able to dive into that story? I painted yesterday. I painted my house yesterday because I'm looking at refinancing. Maybe you enjoy painting. I have a high school, she's not even a high school friend. We're childhood friends who's taking some class and she's painting this beautiful art. But you've got to invest in your calm. Calm doesn't just come. Because we're in transformation out there and it's not stopping. This process we're going through will continue into 2021. I know everybody's like, ooh, 2021, yay, yay. Like, what, all this is going to stop? Whoever the president is on my birthday, I got to share with the election, is going to create whatever. And that's going to create a ripple into December and January and February. So you want to create some things right now that's going to help you in this process. And knowing what helps you stay calm allows you to remain in your calm as you go through situations, as you make decisions. And I know some of you are making critical decisions. Where am I going to live? How much money am I going to have to pay for my bills? March we started, so maybe you had some money in March, but March, April, May, June, July, August, September, 7 months in, you may not have planned out that far. So wherever you find yourself in whatever situation it is, I mean, the people in Alabama, they've got water everywhere. They're just flooding everywhere. When those situations, it doesn't help for any of us to be, oh my God, what are we going to do? All that craziness doesn't help. You know, when you're sitting somewhere and you're watching water rise, you're calmly thinking, okay, what are we going to do? How am I going to get the kids out of here? What do I need to do? Who do I need to contact? Who's going to help us? In an energy that's looking for solutions. So that is part of the power in being calm, is finding solutions, is discovering answers. When we're frazzled and we're running around and we're allowing anxiety to move through us and fear to take over us, we can't figure out anything. So the power of being calm, the value of being calm, is that the answers you're seeking, you can find them there. The solutions you're seeking, you can find them there. I mean, how many times have you gotten quiet, allowed yourself through your breathing, inhaling slowly and exhaling slowly, to get yourself centered, and you say to yourself, for Danielle or Kat, when you get on here, or Crystal, okay, what is it I'm going to do and how am I going to do it? And you just sit still for a moment and you're surprised when a thought may come. Or you take it for granted. A thought may come and say, oh, do this and do that. And you're like, okay, I'll do it. But you may not track the power of your being calm and still to get that answer by sitting down and listening. So often when we're unconscious and when we're uncomfortable and when our anxiety is in control, we're so busy trying to run away from that feeling. You don't want to feel anxious. You don't want to feel uncontrolled, uncomfortable. You don't want to feel the anxiety. You really don't want to feel the fear, versus sitting with it, digesting it, and then picking it apart a little bit. What are you afraid of? Well, I could lose my job. And if you lose your job, what's going to happen? Well, then I won't know how to pay my rent or my mortgage. And if you can't pay your rent or mortgage, what's going to happen? Sometimes you have to be willing to talk back through that conversation that's going on in your head and pick it apart to get to the truth of what's really going on inside of you. And then you can manage that. But when you let fear run rampant, anxiety run rampant, the sense of not being able to be still run rampant throughout your whole being, then some of the messages the universe is trying to send you, some of the messages your intuition is trying to send you here can't be heard because the fear, the anxiety, it's a lot larger. So move yourself into calm. Turn away from the TV. I may look at the news, once or twice a week at most, and I'm looking at Spectrum One. Identify what brings you calm so you know it. You have it ready, handy. Sometimes it's running water. I have a fountain in the front of my house and a fountain in the back. Hearing that water run and it just trickles, I immediately start to calm down. What do you need? Music calms me down. And it varies from day to day. So you have to decide for you what works for you in calming you down in the midst of your storms. Another thing is writing. Write down what it is. Get it out your head. I'm always talking to a friend of mine. Get it out of your head. Stop trying to use your head to carry everything. Write down, well, I'm concerned about this. What are you telling yourself that you're unconscious about? Write that down so you can become aware of it. And then after you become aware of it, you take a piece of paper and you look at it and say, okay, what's really real versus what is my mind just driving me crazy with? And you can check those things off. And then when it's done, you'll see there may be one or two things that you really want to be mindful of and look toward, okay, now this is what it is. How do I move to calm? But one of the first things I want you to be able to identify is, what does calm feel like for you? Is it that you're sitting back on your couch and you just, or even on TV sometimes, I remember I'll look up and there'll be something, say 15 seconds of calm. And whenever I see it, I just stop. And it shows you water drops and leaves, and I think maybe water may be running, and I just stop. So one of the things for me is breathing. I can easily stop breathing when I'm stressed, under anxiety, or worry. It's amazing. I just don't breathe. I hold my breath. I keep going through life, but I'm holding my breath. So one of the first things I want you to do is notice, are you breathing? And are you breathing deeply? Are you taking in full breaths? Are you walking through life just, well, you're not giving your body and your life enough energy by not taking in a full breath to be able to power you and help you stay calm. So your breathing is one way for you to also do it and step into your calm. But the next time you're calm, I want you to see what that feels like. See what your body feels like. See what your heart is feeling like. See what's happening in your thoughts, if anything at all. And notice how you can master that, because there's power in being able to be calm. I'm not saying detach. I'm saying that in the midst of the storm, you can look at it. Like some of you are looking at the information last night on the town hall meeting. I talked to a friend. She's like, what is this crazy man doing? And I thought, why are you getting upset about that? You can choose to look at that or not. That man's been there for 3 years and you still giving that your energy and being upset about it? So there are choices you can make. You keep hearing me talk about the person in charge because he doesn't change much and he's really easy to read. So when you know that, you just read it and you can hold on to your calm. But it's a personal choice that we get to make on how we're going to live in the midst of all this. In the midst of all this, this doesn't have to define you per se. You still get to define you. I'm saying to you, claim calm. There's power in calm. The solutions are in the midst of the storm because that's where the calm is. You've always heard that. The calm is in the center of the storm, the eye of the tornado. We want to be out here swimming around, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, when all you want to do is move in just a little closer to the very center of it and be able to just stand there and breathe and recognize each breath as a gift. As long as you're breathing, you can get answers, you can get solutions, you can ask questions, you can reach out. Everybody's on that doggone Facebook asking about everything and going back and forth. Ask some things that are going to help you move in the direction you want to go. Stop fighting and fussing about Trump. Stop arguing about all that. That's taking your energy. That's been going on for You get to choose your calm, what it's going to look like, what it's going to feel like. And once you do and you know what that is, then no one gets to take that away from you. Some of my biggest calm is going on my walks every day, 3.5 miles or 4 miles. Listening to the birds, looking at the flowers, looking at the trees, looking at how one plant was one way when I came 3 weeks ago and now it's something different. This life is about you transforming you as well as the world transforming itself. We get to transform some of our behaviors that don't work for us, transform some of our thoughts and ideals that no longer serve us, and allow ourselves to embrace something new and bigger on this journey for the end results that we want to see, not only as a fragmented pieces, but as the whole magnificence that we are. And that's what's happening. Right now, the fragmented pieces want to keep doing what they're doing and keep arguing about what they're arguing. There's only a few of them. Versus, how come we won't all come together and be the magnificent whole that we really are invisibly and spiritually, and allow that to be what shows up on this planet? And fortunately or unfortunately, I kind of think that's been the conversation for us being on this planet the whole time we've been here. For us to find the calm within to live in the midst of the storms. So on that note, I said Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Take good care. You know where to find me, www.JanineMacklin.com. The site is up. There's several, I think, audios on there. See if there's a meditation audio on there for you as well, to keep you centered in the midst of the storm. And know that you still have a lot to do in this process, to anchor you, to honor you, to love you, separate from everything that's going on out there. I'm not saying it's easy, but what part of this journey has been, really? Who said it was going to be easy? Did somebody give you a birth certificate, say your life will be easy, you won't have to grow, you won't have to be uncomfortable, you won't deal with anxiety and fear? Or did it say you're going to have to learn how to exercise your faith, you're going to have to learn how to step into your passions, you're going to have to learn how to face your fears, you're going to have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable and living that life until you are comfortable? Claim your calm, live from your calm, be your calm in the midst of the storm. Take good care and bye for now.